Uh, we'll start in about 2 more minutes. Just waiting for people to join in. Uh, I have an exciting announcement. I'm sure most of you already are aware that we have an alumni joining us. This candidate is also recently somebody who's gotten placed from us, and get your questions ready, your doubts ready, whatever you want to ask the candidate. His name is Prateek. He'll be joining us in about 5 to 10 minutes. Until then, I'll quickly brief people who don't know about Elevate Me a little bit and let them know that, what we do, what is our offering, etc. And until then, until Prateek joins, basically. All right. Um, okay. So to begin with, if most of you here today are uh, already aware of what Elevate Me does, because some of you are here from our cohorts, and some of you are here from not enrolling with us yet, and I still have some doubts about us. So I'll just quickly walk you through our offering and how we go about handling the problems that international students face, and particularly understanding what struggles students have on their OPT visa or when they're during their OPT duration. So we'll just go about that. Um Moving forward, I'll just quickly walk you through about like who we are, what we do. If you already do not know, and if you are new here, mainly, we are an online career boot camp, which is run by international students for international students. So our the head of the team, everybody is somebody who's come to US from India, went there, did their masters in from one of the state universities or one of these universities which are not really particularly like very like Ivy level schools. So it's not very easy for them to land a job on their own. So they had to go through their struggles, and they had to deal with these struggles on their own at that point. And they also come from a certain era of when probably social media was just kicking in. It was not such a big platform, or maybe like, it was, but then not as big as it is today. A lot of information today is available for us on social media, and we have AI coming into play. So a lot of information is more accessible for us, but these guys are people who have dealt with these struggles way before AI comes into play, or when social everything was on social media. So yeah. And so their goal is to ensure that, every struggle that they faced as an international student in the US, they don't want that to be a problem for the upcoming generation international students that are moving to the US for their masters and are looking for a full-time job. When do you start? How do you really ensure that, you get a job on time, and ensuring that, you don't have to go back to your home country? Nobody wants to go back to their home country when they've spent so much money on their masters, right? So they understand the issues that everybody's coming from, and they understand how, you can tackle these issues. And our goal is to ensure that we help you achieve your US dream job, particularly. And that is through either, if at all you don't have the experience or you don't have the skill set that is required in today's job market, then we ensure that you are getting ready for it. And if at all you do have it, then we are ensuring that, we help you find the right jobs. We ensure that, the job applications that are sent to all the employers are actually also sponsorship verified, ensuring that, we are not wasting anybody's time. We're not going to give you a number which is like for unnecessary jobs, which are just easy applies or probably jobs that will not never sponsor you. So we ensure that, we are only applying to jobs that are sponsored, that will be open to international students, and ensuring that, the time is really an important factor for all of us. So we ensuring that, we respect that. We are also accredited by Ohio State Board of Career Colleges. So we are where the certification in terms of like, you get off on your technical skills or like, your real time project experience or any knowledge that you gain from our technical mentors that is certified by the Ohio State Board. So you do walk out with the certification and something that you can add to your resume, right? And moving forward, uh, let me just walk you through on how we do it. I just quickly gave you a brief about how we ensure we can help you get a full-time job. But let me just tell you how that functions. It's about a combination of working with our technical and behavioral mentors, and at the same time, working with our career service team, who will help you find a job. And then here, your mentors will help you train you in terms of like how to assess yourself in terms of these assessment tests or any behavioral interviews that you get through, how to really get through the interviews, run mock interviews with you. If you've already not gotten there, you will get there. If you're already in a certain stage of your cohort, then you would get there. Yeah. Uh, Moving forward, we do provide a money back guarantee. So whatever we promise in the promised time, if we are not delivering that to you, then you are eligible for a money back guarantee. So you will get your money back, and at least the worst comes to worst is that your money would not be wasted. But so far our record has been so that we didn't have to particularly return somebody's money because we've ensured that everybody who's enrolled with us has gotten the benefit from us and have walked out with with the job. Uh, Things that we get is, I'm just waiting. Give me a minute. I'm so sorry. I'm just waiting for Pratik to join in. Just letting him in. Yeah, as I just said, you walk out with a life project experience, you develop your technical skills, you ensure that your portfolio is up to date. Then you get one-on-one support in terms of like your career service, somebody who's assigned to you, particularly ensuring that your applications are going to the right companies, tailoring them, ensuring that everybody is, you know, given that attention, ensuring that we give you a feedback on how your applications are going, really answer those questions as per your experience. We do not add any fake experiences to students' resumes. We ensure that whatever we send into employers are correct to the employer network that we work with. And a lot of this system is also backed by a lot of AI driven tools, because there are a lot of like, you understand if we are sending applications in bulk, a lot of these applications are also automated in a lot of ways where we feed the system your tailored answers, ensuring that if at all there's an answer like question like this, then this is the answer we provide. All of that is done, which speeds up the process as well. And of course, you get in touch with our mentors and our support team on a regular basis, and hence the human support. And yeah, this is how the program functions, where the duration of your course can last up to 4 months, ideal for international students who've just graduated or are on their OPT. We have a new batch coming in every week. If at all you have any friends who might benefit from this, you can just share your contact with us, with me personally, and then we can get them enrolled and also help them benefit from the services that we provide. Uh, yeah. So I'll talk about how phase one, phase two, phase three functions, where phase one, you come in, you work with our orientation sessions for the first 15 days. Uh, Sorry, just a minute. Just ensuring Pratik joins in. Just a minute, please. Just allow me a moment. I'm so sorry for this. Going back to what I was saying, phase one is the first 15 days of your orientation, where you meet with Neeti, who will help you tailor your resume, fix your resume if that is required, or fix your GitHub or anything that is required to ensure that we start your process. And the first 15 days are also allowed for you to test the service and see if that functions well for you. And if at all it doesn't, you can quit the program with and no questions asked, and you can get your money back for whatever money you've given us. Um, Coming back to phase two, once you are done with all your paperwork and everything, what happens is you start meeting a technical mentor. You start going to office hours where your technical mentor will start teaching you tools and programs that are required for your current job search. And along with that, you also meet behavioral mentors who help you with tackling your job search or your interview questions or your GitHubs to a portfolio. All of that is required. And along with phase two, we also start with your job search. We start giving in your profile to our support team, the career team, basically, who start looking for your jobs and start marketing. So that's phase one. Phase two and phase three basically work hand in hand, is how we go about it. Uh, all right, moving forward, I'm just going to invite Pratik to the panel, and we can start having him on video. And I'm going to quickly also open the floor for some questions. Hi, Pratik. I hope you're audible. Everything is good from our end.
Yeah.
All right, great. I don't see your video on.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I
Hey,
do.
hi.
Hi, how are you doing? How's your Friday
Good,
looking?
good. You?
I'm good too. Firstly, thank you so much for coming in. We have some of our students from the existing cohort who have come in here.
Mhm.
So they probably already started with their marketing services. They're probably finished their 15 days at this minute.
Mhm.
And they are at this minute in the job search phase of everything. So we will start with some questions from my end, and then I'll open the floor for some questions for them to ask you. So if you're okay with that, let's start.
Yep, let's dive into it.
Great. Can we start with a quick introduction on where you're from? How did you land up in US, and what were you aiming to do in the US? And are you currently happy with what you're doing in the US?
Oh, okay. That is gonna be a long journey. So, yep. So I was born and raised in a state called Haryana back in India.
Okay.
Then I did my bachelor's from, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about it. It's called the Amity University, which is in
Yeah,
Noida.
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
So, yep, yep. So I did my bachelor's in computer science from there, and apparently when
Mhm.
I graduated, I didn't work as a software engineer.
Uh-huh.
I actually worked as a customer support analyst, where
Wow.
for 4 years in a manufacturing firm, and
Mhm.
most of my role was around kind of like utilizing the data within the, what do you say, the support life cycle to enhance
Mhm.
their operational efficiency and see how we can kind of improve our company
Yeah.
from an operation standpoint. So it was more of an in-house consulting work I did. So
Okay.
4 years down the line is something I realized is I was, as I told you, right, I was already
Yeah.
utilizing the data, and I was a lot meeting with a lot of stakeholders as well during my meeting. So that is when my mind shifted to kind of like what are the other things I can do with the data. So I realized you can utilize the data, be it in marketing, operations, finance, literally everywhere you can use data, right? So
Yeah.
that is when I decided this is the field I like and where I want to dive deeper into. And that is when I decided to kind of pursue my MBA in business analytics.
Mhm.
So 2 years back, I gave my GMAT. I applied to a lot of schools. I got admitted to some good schools as well. But one of my biggest concerns was kind of the huge amount of fees which comes with it.
Yeah.
But luckily, kind of University of Delaware gave me almost close to like 100% scholarship for the first year.
Wow.
Yes, so I came to USA 2 years back, did my I got a graduate assistantship from them where I was working sort of as a data engineer. Then in this next year, got an internship with Chase where I worked as a quantitative analyst for another year, and then I finally graduated last year. Since then, I was not getting. So I'm supposed to get an offer from Chase, but that didn't convert because they stopped giving sponsorship.
Mhm.
So then I dived into the market, and that is where things went completely like out of the place, right? The market was crashed. You're not getting any job interview calls at all. So I was actually in the market for 8 months. I tried on my own. I pushed over like 10,000 applications easily,
Mhm.
and just nothing was working out. So by the end of 8 months, I was like completely exhausted, kind of have no idea like where should I go, what should I do next, because whatever I tried, nothing worked out, right?
Yeah.
That is when someone from Elevate Me reached out to me, and it was Yash who kind of like consoled me to join Elevate Me. And then I was like one of these students sitting on the other side, kind of being worried, should I join it or not, or should I join it? But at chance, I joined Elevate Me. I worked with them for 3 months, and then everything worked out in the end. So right now, I'm working as a, what do you say, a senior business and data intelligence analyst within a company called Job Target. And the biggest dilemma is I'm working for a company which helps company to hire other people faster. And it's something I was looking for, is to get hired faster as well. So yeah, that has been pretty much my journey, Dikshan. Just
That's
happy
nice.
to. Are there any questions you have?
Yeah, that's great. You've actually quite addressed on this major struggle that most of these Indian students have been facing in the recent times. That is like not being able to bag any interviews or,
Yeah.
sending in thousands of applications, getting only rejections or hearing probably nothing from the job recruiter side. So I do understand that struggle. What I would also a little bit dive into is that explaining the OPT window and how did you tackle the anxiety that comes in because you're also on a certain timeline. And I do understand that if you probably don't get a job within the 90 days of your OPT clock, then you're probably not going to get your OPT and you might have to go back. So how did you tackle that? Probably for the current students, if at all they're in that phase, how can they approach that? If at all you could help us.
Yes, yes, I would say that is one of the biggest challenge. So it was not that time where students will just enroll in a consultancy. Everything is now kind of, they have data to everything. They somehow are able to find and flag those companies, right? So now it
Yeah.
is one of the toughest things to do as well. How so when I graduated, so I had those 3 months on the clock. What I did was trying to find a work, paid or unpaid, so that I can just stop my clock. So apparently I tried a lot for that as well, but in the end I was kind of reached out by a consultancy again to kind of that they will give me some work, but that will be unpaid just for the expense of that they will let me be on the clock with them. So that is what worked out for me. For the other students, the only advice I have is you have only two options, either to find a job within those 3 months, or secondly find someone to kind of stop your clock. So for the first piece, which is you find a job in 3 months, I think it's really tough to get something in the first 3 months. But that being said, it's just a matter of chance right now. Getting a job for anyone, you can get it in 3 months, or maybe you will get it in 1 year, or maybe 8 months. It's totally right now. I would say it's luck mostly, and how many applications you can put in. But yeah, if you want to stop that clock, either find a job within the first 3 months, or just try to find a consultancy or OPT and any unpaid work which can just stop your clock right away.
Just to question about the consultancy that you had that took you took help from. Is that ideally? I mean, as per what we have understood is that usually they add like fake experiences to your resume, and then all of that
Yes.
goes into, and then probably that can get flagged off by the immigration offices. So did that something happen with you? How did you tackle that very bit so that these guys also understand that bit and not make those mistakes?
Yes. So it depends. So I cannot vouch for the consultancies which you are going for. So I will recommend anyone who enroll within those consultancies is do your thorough research, I would say, before joining anyone. So that is one of the key points. So something which I did as well before joining a consultancy, I tried to reach out to the people who are already working within the consultancy so to
Hmm.
see whether they have faced similar issues or not. So that was kind of what my approach was during that time.
Okay.
And yeah, that is what was your other part of the question, Diksha?
Yeah, just to ensuring that your resume or your profile doesn't get flagged off. How did you
Yes.
like particularly ensure that bit doesn't happen? Yeah.
So I would say even if you kind of like uh, are with those companies, what you can do is so there are two parts of it. One is whether you're going to show it within your uh, experience or not.
Yeah.
If you show it in your experience and you get a call from HR, you what I would prefer is be really honest with them. That is was something I did as well. So you give them a heads up that hey, I've joined this company just to stop my clock as an international student, because something I've realized is a lot of recruiter are actually familiar with this thing, which is kind of specifically common to the international students.
Fair
So
enough.
this is something I did. And the second thing, in case you don't kind of tell them and you actually present that experience later down the line, you can never tell whether uh, the background check will come or whether their consultancy has been flagged by the USCIS. That is something I cannot tell. But that being said, I think most of the students, if they get enrolled with the consultancy, I think they should be fine if they are still, those consultancies are still active.
That's good. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
that's quite interesting. All right. I'll just dig a little deeper into how Elevate Me's experience has been for you so far, in the sense of how many interviews did you end up getting, how many applications, and then what was your duration like, and probably also talk about after you entered into marketing, were there any anxieties in terms of like, are you going to get any jobs? I mean, it would have felt hopeless because probably you would have gotten rejections also, not getting any interviews as well. I'm sure there would have been those phases as well. So if you could just help us understand that experience.
Yes. So Diksha, I joined Elevate Me primarily because I was hopeless, right? I kind of knew that there is whatever I tried was not working out. So I knew I need to have a second helping hand with me, to kind of give me that structure in life. So one thing I'd like to share, for the 8 months I've been trying to get a job, I was completely drained out. Didn't have energy, applying for 8 hours a day, then studying for the interview and all that stuff. And when an interview pops up, I'm just totally focusing my time to kind of study for it. At the same time, during that time I could have applied for some application and I could have gotten more interviews possibly, right? So that is kind of like why I joined Elevate Me, is because I was completely drained out. I needed some structure in my life and I needed that kind of like extra support so I can, because life is more to it than applying to jobs every
Yeah.
day. And that is what I was doing for the past 8 months. So that is why I joined Elevate Me, and I joined them almost in late Feb, I would say.
Hmm.
So I got onboarded, and then I met Michelle, and, and the guys are gonna meet the technical and behavioral mentors as well.
Yeah.
So my experience with Elevate Me has been amazing since I've joined them, and I was with them actually for just 3 months. So during that time, one of the best things which stood out to me is Elevate Me journey. I'd like to divide into three parts. One is the technical support, right? You get, so we have these sessions every Wednesday, and you have one-on-one
Yeah.
with your mentors, which kind of helps you prepare for the interviews. And the thing is, they are I know Sagar is someone I really love. I
Yeah.
really had an amazing time. We still talk. And so, yep, he actually pushed me to learn a lot of new skills. I was not keen on Python or learning machine learning projects because I was totally focusing on the data analytics sides.
Yeah.
So every week, kind of going through over solving some test problems, creating those dashboards really helped me, kind of prepare for keep being prepared for the interview. Instead of when an interview comes, I'm kind of like giving all my energy into preparing for that. I was already prepared as soon as the call came. The second thing was the behavioral mentors we have over here as well. So they help you prepare for not just like prepare your answer, they kind of help you prepare your confidence and mentality as well on how to approach those interviews, which is something again really stood out to me. And then we always have Michelle to kind of support us throughout the journey.
Yeah.
So these were the two things. And then I don't remember what the third thing I mentioned. Oh, the marketing side, right? So
Yeah.
I came into marketing almost like in within 2 weeks of joining
Yeah.
Elevate Me. So one thing which really stood out to me is everyone who was doing my marketing was kind of like very well equipped on what my profile was and where I wanted my application to be put in. That being said, what I did an extra is kind of like tell them what my approach, because I've been applying for 8 months for a job as well, right? I kind of
Yeah.
worked with them as well to kind of optimize how they can also like proceed this in a much better way as well.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I joined Elevate Me. It was an amazing experience. I so what Elevate Me does for me was kind of streamline the process for me, made my life a lot easier. And the best part is their marketing helped me push out a lot of applications. So not just the marketing, even I would say I applied for some, but the marketing guy who was publishing like 2,000, 3,000 application on my behalf, I was just putting in like 10% of that, I would say, in a month. But that at the end really worked out. Everything got paid off, and now finally I have a job. Yes.
That's great. Uh, all right. So I think those will be these questions from my end. I would let the students actually ask you the questions.
Sure.
If you could just drop in your Q&As in the chat box, and we can just pick it up from there for all the participants. Yeah.
Okay, I have the Q&A open.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for some. I also have a list of some questions until anybody asks any more questions. Uh, yeah, so there has been some questions where somebody has asked us if at all uh, you are not getting any interviews like after joining Elevate Me, and it's been like about a month, and they've still not gotten any interview scheduled. They've applied, the team is applying for them, it's going on well for them,
Uh-huh.
but it's been a while and they've not heard back from any companies. So how do you
Mhm.
keep up the motivation going, and how do you ensure that you trust the process? Like it's basically about how to trust the process. So how do you keep it going for yourself?
Yes, yes. I think staying motivated during all this time is one of the toughest thing, right? So I didn't get any actually offers for the first 2 months, not even a single interview call. But after 3 months, when we kind of went through a lot of iterations of resumes, kind of like streamlined the whole process of applying, then it's just like kind of waiting uh, patiently for that to kind of strike your first interview. So for staying positive,
Is it me or Pratik is stuck? If somebody can just leave it in the Q&A. Oh, yeah. So I thought something happened with my laptop. Uh, Pratik, we are not able to see you or hear you. Okay, can we have Pratik joining us again? Just a minute for me to check with him. Okay, yeah. He's just rejoining us. Sorry for the on and off. Okay, I'm still not able to see him. Um, Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Somebody's asked in some question about STEM OPT where they've asked if I wanted to ask about STEM OPT extension. If someone enrolls into this program, does it ensure the visa getting extended? I have 2 months of unemployment days, and my initial OPT ends on July 31st. So I'm just reading out the question. I'm just going to repeat this question once Pratik is here so that you can hear from him as a student. How do you go about it? And what is the relatability there? Um, right, Pratik is here. And hi, Pratik. Welcome back. We can't still hear you or see you if you weren't speaking to us.
Hello?
Hello. Hi, Pradeep.
Yes, Diksha, my just network dropped.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yep. So just let me turn on my camera. It's just gonna take 1 second.
All right.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm using my phone camera. Is it all right?
All right. Yeah, that's okay.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have some questions for you. We'll start
Mhm.
from there again, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. So the question goes, if at all somebody is on their STEM OPT extension, like if they want to extend their STEM OPT particularly,
Mhm.
is it ideal to enroll into this program because their initial OPT date is on 31st July? So would it be ideal for them to enroll into a program like ours and ensure that, they're good to go?
So I didn't get the question at all, Diksha. They mean that if the OPT extension, if they are on an OPT extension, right?
No. So their initial OPT, the first 90 days,
Yep, yep.
basically ends on 31st July. So if they're in that initial 90-day phase, is it ideal for them to enroll into this program or like because they're looking for a STEM OPT extension
Uh-huh.
particularly? So how do they go about it? Like for example, if I was on my initial OPT and my 90-day clock starts now.
Uh-huh.
So about like 2 months into my OPT is what is left at this minute. So should I be
Oh,
enrolling into a program like this?
got it. So I would say something which I regretted is wish I would have started earlier,
Yeah.
because the earlier you start, the more applications you put in, and I cannot stress this out enough that the most important part is putting those application in, and while at the same time being prepared for whenever the interview comes.
Mhm.
So I would say whoever is trying to join, I would say instead of you think about joining later on, if you want to join right now, because it's going to help you out a lot later down the line. And because let's just do simple cost benefit analysis, right? Let's say you
Yeah.
don't join them for 3 months and you try on your own. It's totally luck you'll get a job or not, but let's say you are there in the job for 8 months. Think about if you enroll in this program, get a job now, and work for another 6 months, in which now if you go on your own you will be unemployed. So if you do that cost benefit analysis, right, there's something which I didn't think of initially. It is better to join early than being joining late for sure. So because you will for sure, there are more chances now for you of getting a job early, right? So yep, I would say anyone who want to join, they should join as earlier they can, or later down the line if you join, just you'll have to be just worried about kind of like getting your clock stopped. Yep, Diksha, does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Another question we have for a data analyst role is that considering AI coming into play and also like a lot of systems getting automated, etc. Does it make sense for somebody to pursue the role of an a data analyst or in that domain particularly for like a long-term growth?
See, no one can explain replace a data analyst role.
Yeah.
I don't know why there is a misconception about that. Is because data analyst is not there to what do you say, just create reports, just run some query language, and it's a lot more than that. You're making business decisions. You're kind of like, and SQL is something which I would believe, if you have a business knowledge, is something which AI cannot write directly until you explain what the business logic is. which is something really hard to teach any AI right now, I would say. So yeah, don't be worried about that at all. No one can kind of, I would say, take away a data analyst job. They can take even a machine learning engineer or a data scientist job as compared to an analyst one. So yep, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, that answers the question for sure. And I believe, like, yeah, as much as everything gets automated, nothing of a human touch can ever go away from
Yes, exactly.
this, right? Like, and yeah. I personally also work with data analyst in my own company where I'm working right now. And it's not about just creating automated dashboards to just fetch data. It's also
Mhm.
understanding how to really make those business decisions with them, how to really
Yep.
look into a certain data. It's the automation will only be able to automate a system based on what you want it to do. But
Yes.
then a data analyst also has the knowledge of how a certain data can be used in making better decisions, right? Which a
Yep.
human can do, but then a system cannot do that. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Exactly.
it makes sense now. Any more questions? If not, we can actually ask Pratik to go. I believe he's taken out some time from his work day today for us and
Yep.
taken out some spare time for us. And really, thank you for really taking out this time and answering some questions and answering your experience with us. Uh, yeah, I'll just wait for another minute before we let you go, if at all
Sure.
somebody has any
Sure.
questions. Yeah, okay. Does anybody have any more questions?
Guys, feel free to ask me anything related to any jobs, anything about the process. I'll give you as honest reply I can give.
Yep.
And yeah, also
Okay.
I forgot to answer one big part which you
Yeah.
told how many interviews I got, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So within 3 months I've been with them, I've got 6 interviews so far.
Mhm.
I have converted almost, I got one offer, I've converted another one possibly, and I have almost two more lined up.
That's good. That's quite.
Still,
I
yeah.
mean, the wait for like no interviews for 2 months, and in the third month it's like back to back interviews and pretty much bagging all of them.
Yes, 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 Diksha, because you know why? Because the data analyst field is not getting automated. That is might be the reason I'm getting those interviews.
That's true.
Yep, yep,
That, yeah, that makes sense. All right. I think there are no more questions from our students at this minute. I think we can let you go. Thank you so much for taking out this time. And thank you
yep.
for sharing your experience with us. Have a great weekend and hope to see you around. Yeah.
Yep, yep. See you then. Thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
me, Diksha. See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Thank you for attending this session with me. Any more questions for us? Feel free to reach out to Pratik on your WhatsApp groups as well. You do have his number on his WhatsApp group, on the WhatsApp groups that you're added in. If you have any questions for me, you can feel free to reach out to me. I will just, if you don't, I think you guys have my number. If not, I will anyway be reaching out to you guys and then we can take it from there. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great weekend and I hope everybody ends up finding their dream job in the US as you have wished for while joining us. Thank you. Bye bye.